G'day, ladies and gents, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today, I thought we might have a look at the MiG-19 and just have a look at a couple of things that have happened in the last couple of days of the patch. First, I'd like to start off by saying, yes, the Mystère 2C does in fact see the MiG-19, and it does in fact get absolutely hammered. So, point proven, just 3 days after patch. So, you know, isn't that perfect? I will say, we will discuss the MiG-19. The MiG-19 for me personally has been a massive disappointment. I'm not going to lie. It's either me struggling to get used to the plane or the plane just being outright bad. But for me, the biggest thing with the MiG-19 is that rudder. The fact that the rudder locks up after about 600 kilometers per hour practically renders any combat above 600 kilometers per hour useless, because it is just not worth either bleeding the speed to get to that maneuverability level, or in fact engaging in such combat, because you would just put yourself at a massive disadvantage. And here's a short clip of me getting absolutely smashed by about 4 people. So one other thing that the MiG-19 doesn't do well is take damage. As you can see here, damaged wingtip, damaged tail. Now, these are just light little bits of damage, but I just can't do anything. And this F-100D literally sits behind me and just peppers away. For me, I'll discuss a little bit of these things later, but honestly, I'm having a lot of trouble with the MiG-19, and I think a lot of other people are as well. It's very, very different to the MiG-19, to the MiG-17, the MiG-15. It's more, to be honest, I don't know what it's like. It's almost like a G91, except it's way bigger, way heavier, shit rudder, and I mean like garbage rudder, and it gets to fight F-100Ds all day, which is so fun. Oh my god. Personally, from the afternoon that I've been playing of this patch, because I was away for a couple of days during the patch release, now I've finally gotten back and have started playing the MiG-19. This footage is all basically from that afternoon, and my general opinion is rather negative, to be honest. I haven't really got a whole lot to say that is positive. So far I'm okay with the MiG-19. It's terrible. I don't like the way it flies. Maybe someone else enjoys it. Maybe it's to someone else's style, but it's certainly not to mine. I don't like the fact that the ammo is severely limited to the point where you have to be even more careful with your ammunition than you are in the MiG-15 and the MiG-17. I find the rudder lockup is painful. It's almost got to be played like an old MiG-15 bis, where you literally just play at low speed, bait people up, and try and get them. But the only problem is you're nowhere near as maneuverable as the old MiG-15. Because the old MiG-15 used to fight F-2 Sabres, it used to fight Banshees, Panthers, the Venom, but the Venom couldn't get up to that altitude as easily as the MiG-15. Now, my issue with the MiG-19 is combat has to happen at low speed. It can't happen at supersonic speeds because you just can't get that rudder to put you on target. It really, really sucks playing the MiG. And it's just not fun for me, personally. Maybe it is fun for someone else, and maybe I'm just in the process of learning the plane. But I don't know if this is just placeholder either. Maybe it's supposed to be that way. But you really can't do any combat at any high speeds because you're just not going to make the shots. And you're not going to make the shots count. And with such low ammunition counts, you really, really need to make every single shot count. And there's no two ways about it. You have 140 rounds of ammo that goes so quickly. It's almost like being in the F-2 Sabre, except you can't get the guns on target. It's like you're flying a PBJ with, I don't know, with the F-2 Sabre's guns. Put it that way. It feels kind of like that. Except it's just that rudder. It is literally just that rudder below about 400, above about 400 kilometers per hour, which is very, very painful to play. Now, for those of you who actually play jets, and play jets extensively, you'll know, and you can see on screen, that the jet combat happens anywhere between about 600 and 900 kilometers per hour normally. Especially in vertical maneuvers, and that can even dip. But the MiG-15 literally has to energy trap people to do any work. And because it doesn't have the same speed as the F-100, and it certainly doesn't have the turn rate of something like an F-2 Sabre, you're in a bit of a sticky situation there. It's tough. It's actually tough playing this plane. And it's not fun for me. I can't bring myself, I can't have fun in this plane, and that's what kills me, because that's essentially what the game's about. If you want to have fun, you play what you like, right? I can't get myself to like this plane. I will say, however, the missiles can be fun, and you can see there that beautiful shot on the A5. You just watch the missile home in, and the A5 Sabre doesn't even know what's coming. It's probably the most satisfying thing about the MiG-19. But honestly, you could probably get better in the F-100. Now, I don't know a whole heap about the F-100 in-game. I don't actually have it, and I really wish I could have it. And hopefully I'll get it in the next couple of days, so I can display it on the channel and have a go and see exactly how it feels and how it compares to the MiG-19. But from fighting it, and from my experience with fighting opponents, this tends to be the case that the way I fight things, I tend to get a good impression of how they perform as a general idea. I may be wrong, but a lot of the time I tend to be somewhere in the ballpark. Now, from my experience, I've found that the F-100 seems to just absolutely dominate, and javelins seem to be a pretty much non-issue unless they spook you come out of the clouds. And that's pretty much top tier jets at the moment. I think it was, needless to say, implemented quite poorly. I'm not really happy. I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't play these vehicles. I just think that we should perhaps hope for, I guess, some jets in between for a start. Some balancing changes, some nice stuff, hopefully, in the future. But for now, it's a little bit clunky, I think. And maybe this is natural for all, I guess, for all new features to come into War Thunder. Everything seems to always come in a little bit clunky, need a bit of adjustment. But I do think they could have done this a lot better. And I will make another video talking about how I think they could have done that. But long and short, they should have added lower tier stuff first. Now, the MiG-19 itself, again, the only real gripe I have is that the low speed combat is where it's at for the MiG. If you take it into high speed combat, you're not going to get anywhere. But if you do work as a team, you can find some nice baits, which is kind of nice. This F-100 here gets put into a nice low-speed bait, and I do get a quite nice kill. It did take me a while to line up the shot, but, I got there in the end. And maybe that's the saving gem of the MiG-19. Now, you can see me here with some dog shit aim, to say the least. But one thing I find the missiles are really good for are catching people that like to run. And once this F-100 sees that he's dodged one missile, he thinks it's all over, continues in a straight line, and runs right into the missile. I wasn't actually expecting that kill, but that was a really, really nice kill, and it was quite satisfying. The missiles, so far in War Thunder, I can see that the missiles are working perfectly. It's just the plane that I'm using just seems to be frustrating to fly. I don't understand why, but that just seems to be the case. Lately, though, I have really been enjoying my F-2 Sabre. For some reason, it just seems to have a little bit more ability to dominate. It might be because the MiG-19 needs to slow down to be in combat, and it can't turn with the F-2 Sabre, which means that it can actually be really easy pickings for your friendly planes, and for you. So if you're looking at getting any of the top tier rank 6 jets, for now, I'm pretty sure that the F100 is going to be the top dog. Now, I would recommend for now, until the matchmaker settles and until everyone sort of gets their vehicles spaded, that everyone just sort of keeps an eye on the battle rating and doesn't sort of jump to any serious conclusions until they've tried a couple of them. But for now, the way I see it, I think the F100 is going to be the top dog. That's my prediction. Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you next time. Try not to tear your hair out with the MiG-19. It's tough, I know, but we'll get there someday.